Coming to you live from Fight Mixer Studios, it's the Bare Knuckle Insiders Show, hosted by Matthew Kohler and Britton O'Bannon, bringing you insider information on all things bare knuckle.
Pound, round for round, still claiming champion. Yeah. Pound for pound, round for round, still claiming champion. Yeah. Pound for pound, round for round, still claiming champion. Yeah. Still claiming champion. Yeah. Still claiming champion. Pound for pound, round for round, still claiming champion. Yeah. Pound for pound, round for round, still claiming champion. Pound for pound, round for round, still claiming champion. Yeah. Still claiming champion. Undisputed.
Hello, everyone.
Hi.
How's it going?
Great. How are you tonight?
Oh, not too shabby, not too shabby. Just getting home from a little weekend at my little secret hideaway in the woods.
Oh, that sounds fun.
Yeah, it's always a
Sounds
good time.
like a blast.
Yeah, I think it's necessary for certain people, especially, just to kind of take a little bit of time and unplug, get off the grid, and not deal with all of the hassles of modern life. Although I was there last weekend also, and it unfortunately made me miss a big chunk of the BYB event because I just couldn't get serviced good enough, and then all of a sudden it just shut down. I couldn't stream it at all. So anyway,
Did you get to see me though? I was there. I was on camera.
I saw you, and I saw the first 3 fights, but I missed everything after that.
No.
I
It was
know.
awesome. I mean, that was my first event, obviously.
Yeah.
But it was so much fun. I got a shirt.
That's a nice looking shirt.
I was pretty excited about it.
It's good stuff. Good stuff. What's up, Sharks? How's it going?
Hi.
But what were some of the highlights for you? What were some of your favorite things?
So, obviously the ladies at Monica and P, starts with P, I think. My mind just went blank. Oh my gosh. Patty
Juarez.
Yes, sorry.
Yeah.
Anyways, that fight was great, and I had it go in a different way than what the judges did, and I think a lot of people did too, but Monica really brought the heat. Like, it was great. It was great. And my favorite thing I could not get over, and you know me, like I get overly excited about stuff, and so everybody around me was probably like, calm down, lady. Because I was like, oh my God, the whole time. But how can you not be like that in that ring? Like, looking at that ring, they can't run, first of all. And if they do run, then they get in the corner. And I told Bo, I said, it's so funny because if you'll watch them closely, sometimes even like if a fighter's winning and they get in that corner, even that fighter's like, nope, let's get away from this, because he does not want to get turned around and get put in a corner himself. So
Yeah.
I mean, it's like nothing but action the whole time. It was great.
Yeah. I mean, it really does force you to try to take it to the center anyway, because you're right. I don't think anybody wants to get fit in there or caught in there. And Marty is saying, hey, he saw you and Vince at the event.
Yep.
So Marty, would love to hear you in the comments about what did you think of the event? What was your experience like?
And I will say, of course, since I don't know if Bo's watching right now, so I'm going to go ahead and tell y'all, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if he is. I got to meet my celebrity crush. It was
Really?
yeah,
Okay. Do we get to know who that is?
sure. I don't
All
really
right.
know that he's a celebrity, but he is to me. So
Who was it?
Mike Vasquez.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. He's kind of dreamy. He's kind of dreamy.
He's got gray hair. How can he not be dreamy? He's got gray hair and
You
a
know,
beautiful smile.
he does. And the other thing is that he's a very genuine guy.
Yes,
And
like
he's very professional, but he's also very friendly. And you don't see that a lot from. And now
no,
there are other promoters. When I've gone to the events and they've been totally professional and totally friendly as well. But I
mhm.
feel like Mike's just different.
Yeah, yeah, it was, that's like I was telling Bo. I said it was just crazy because he walked right up to me, started talking to me, and the whole night, like he'd come by, "Hey, y'all having a good time? Do y'all need anything?" Like just, and it wasn't just us, it was
Yeah.
to everyone that was, ringside, and he was just, I mean, really just mingling with everyone. And then Mel, the matchmaker, he is the sweetest man alive, I think.
He's also a really nice guy.
He
For real.
is.
Yeah.
And it's weird too because I mean, I know that Mel can, put his foot down about stuff when it comes to business and things of that sort. But like meeting him, he was just the sweetest, most genuine guy. And of course, I got to spend time with Jules, so that was super fun. I was super
And Jules
excited.
is great. If you know Jules is a great time. She's a lot
Mhm.
of fun to hang out with. And
Yeah.
Ms. Judy, hello. And you're absolutely right. That's how you should treat your guests.
Yes.
You should treat them with respect and with dignity, and never treat people like you're above them. I think
Right.
that people get to us when some people get to a certain point, it's like they become too big, or they in their own
Mhm.
mind
Yeah.
to mingle with the little people. And I think that's sort
Mhm.
of, I think that's a big mistake that a lot of people make.
Absolutely. We had, of course, walked outside a couple of times during the event, when there was little breaks here and there. And Mike would walk outside and he was just standing out there talking to everybody like he was just a random fan or something. I mean, it was
It,
crazy.
it's not like anything I've seen, in
No,
other promotions.
no.
But it's cool. It's a really welcoming environment. So if you haven't been
Mhm.
to a BYB show, especially if you're an insider, within the community, and you have friends in the community, just go, man. It's so much fun.
Yes.
And it really is. The BYB fans are definitely intense. I will say that.
Hmm.
Um,
Look, I have never, I've never experienced a fight. I'm trying to choose the right words here. A fight, going to an event. I've never been at one that was like this. And I mean, it was crazy. It was very intense. Carter, our son, asked someone, when I got back and I was talking to Bo about it, he's like, "Can I go?" And I'm like, "I don't know." Like they are very, very intense, which
yes,
is
they
which is
are.
great. And then I was actually sitting beside, this man and woman, and I had no clue who they were, but they were so sweet and talking to me, talking to Vince and I the whole time, and Dory, his cousin, and they were, asking me who I was, and then they were excited to learn who I was, and then so on and so forth. Anyways, it was Jamie Davis's parents, so it was
Okay.
super cool to sit beside them while she was fighting because they seemed like the most humble, sweetest people. And then while she was fighting, they were like, "Rah," like
Of
I
course.
loved it. I
Of
loved it.
course, of course, absolutely. And Judy, you will have to go if you haven't been to a BYB event.
Yes.
Come. And actually, I'm glad, Judy, that you're in the comment, because I have an idea for an episode that I want to do, because we want to talk to all kinds of insiders. And so I think that sometimes people, get recognition if you're with some management company, you have some multiple fighters, or if you're a media person, or a fighter yourself. But like, I want to hear from people like Judy,
Absolutely.
who absolutely, are insiders.
Mhm.
and what we'll have to get to connect in the inboxes there, Judy, because I know that you have stories to tell, and I know that you have a unique perspective that I think people would find really interesting. But but people like Judy, and there's tons of people like that. The moms, the wives, the friends who help out. I want to hear from all of those people, and like sort of because they have stories to tell, and nobody ever like asks them, I feel like. And
Right.
I think that they very much have a unique perspective that I think people would find interesting.
Yeah, and I feel like, I don't want to say they get looked over, but I mean, we never hear from them. And I
They're
know,
not seeking it. They're not
right.
seeking it.
And I know just from being a fighter's wife, there's so many stories and such that I could tell, so I can imagine her being a mom. I can't imagine. I'm sure she's got some good stories to tell
I
us.
guarantee it. I
Mhm.
can guarantee it. So, Mr. Producer, thoughts on about the BKFC lawsuit? I'll comment on this briefly. I read the article. I haven't been following this super closely. I did read the article earlier today, and so I think there's a couple things that you have to take into consideration here from the outside looking in. And I think the first thing that I want to take into consideration is that, number one, I don't know anything about the media outlet that put this story out. I know nothing about them. I don't know if they're credible. I don't know. This all could be made up. It all could be completely true. I don't know that because I don't know who these people are, and I don't know them enough for them to have established credibility in my mind. What do you think?
Yeah, I'm gonna have to agree. I mean, there's so much put out in media that is false information. I'm not saying that this is, but there's so much put out in media that is false information, and I just hate to be so quick to judge until we know both sides. I don't like to judge somebody too quickly because I know that if it was ever anything about me, I would hope that everybody would sit back and just wait a minute.
Absolutely. Let's wait for the facts to come out. Let's wait for everything to come
Mhm.
out, and then I'll have more of an opinion. But I guess if I was to give an opinion based on what that article says, let's
Mhm.
say that let's just take it as a given that whatever all the information contained in that article is true. I still don't think it's that bad, personally. I
Right.
think this is pretty common practice,
Yeah.
as it relates to just business.
Mhm.
And what's the outcome going to be? I have no idea. But again, not saying it's true, but if it is true, I'm going to
Right.
say they're probably what will happen if there was in fact a loan given to BKFC. Probably they'll have to repay the loan, but that's
Mhm.
probably about it,
Right.
I would think. And again, we're going to
Mhm.
wait, and I'm going to withhold my official judgment, but I'm just saying, given that it's true, um, and Michael, I think you're probably right. I think they repay the loan and call it good, and that probably is where it ends. I could be
Mhm.
wrong, and we'll have to wait until more facts come out. I'm anybody that's has inside knowledge on this issue, that's inside BKFC, please come on. We want to hear about it and hear both sides of the story. This media outlet, I don't even remember the name of the media outlet, but
I'm
they
not
gave
sure.
this, they put this story out. So let's hear the other side, and give everybody their fair shake. That's my opinion. What do you, did I miss anything there?
I think
I
you
don't have a
kind of
whole lot to say on it.
I think you kinda hit the nail on the head because I mean, I feel the same way. And I feel, they're in the spotlight, and of course, if there's a lawsuit against them, it's gonna go you know what I mean? Like, people are gonna run with it. And again, there's been other lawsuits about issues in the past and, with bare knuckle, with fighter, stuff like that. And I'm just one of those, I don't like to judge until we actually know the whole story. So,
Yeah, and again, I'm agnostic as it relates to promotions, you know, from a media standpoint. Now, do I have my personal opinions? Of course.
oh yeah.
Um, but, but as it relates to what we do here on this show, we give everyone fair treatment. We give
Mhm.
everybody now if something crazy comes out and it's an absolute, these are the facts, and this, then,
Oh
boom,
yeah.
and then I'm happy to share my opinion, but
Mhm.
I'm not going to, you know, uh, put a scarlet letter on somebody when I don't even know the whole story. So
No, and that's what, and I know we're media too, but that's what irritates me about media sometimes. I'm like, can we get the whole story here? Like, let's get all the facts together. And what really interests me is, like you're saying, if there's a media outlet that actually gave both sides, like you're offering to do here, and that way everything can be connected and dealt with, right? You know what I mean? Instead of just taking one side and running with it.
yeah,
And
yeah.
I have to just say this real quick about that comment. Bo is not the trophy husband. I mean,
I don't know. I mean, Bobo's kind of a stud.
he I mean, it depends on if I have my glasses on or off. He has a great personality, though. His personality is wonderful. He always makes me feel like the smartest person in the room.
He's a funny dude. He's a funny dude.
He is. He's great.
But so we have guests tonight.
Yes.
And okay, so for those of you who are tuning in for Jamie Driver, apologize. Jamie will not be joining us tonight. She had something come up at the last minute and had to cancel, but we're going to look to possibly have her on next week. Correct?
Yes, sir.
Are you getting caught up in the comments again?
I can't believe he just called me out about this. I'm going to need a private chat after this show, sir. This is not okay.
Yeah, so, and there is our other guest who didn't make it, Mr. Vince.
Yeah,
how's it going, man?
Sorry about that, guys.
No worries.
I mean, late as always. You just do you.
Yeah, no, I'm actually at my uncle's house, so yeah, not the normal setup. I was trying to get on my laptop, and I can't get connected to their Wi-Fi here, and it's just been a mess, dude. So yeah, my apologies.
Well,
I'm sorry.
No worries, but Brittany Carino says she's leaving now that you're here, though. So
yeah, good. Yeah, I didn't want her anyway.
Brittany, I'm right here. I think she can't handle seeing Vince in the same video with me right now. She's still pretty upset.
She's still a little butthurt, right?
Go away. Yeah, she's still pretty upset because she didn't come to Mississippi to the BYB event because I wasn't going to be there.
Right, and then I picked Britain up like last minute, and yeah, and then we see Tim Carino there too, and she's like instantly like FaceTimes her. Like
I knew I was in trouble. I knew right then and there I was in trouble.
Yes. So for those of you, and I'm sure most people know who Vince is, but Vince obviously is an insider. He's one of the OGs of the bare knuckle world. You've been here since the beginning. You run the only hands page, of course. And so I want to hear a little bit. First of all, I want to hear about that. But what have you been up to, man? What have you been up to lately?
Oh, well, recently, man, we just learned that my dad has a brain tumor. It's kind of pushing on his brain stem. And so, yeah, I've kind of been out of pocket for the past month or so. I moved him in with me, and so I'm kind of taking care of him a lot right now. Other than that, the Only Hands group keeps me pretty busy. So.
I can imagine. So yeah, I saw something on there today about a couple of individuals that were possibly had exhibiting some bad behavior that was threatening the group. So
we have our problem children. Yeah. They know who they are. They know who they are.
Right. And probably Brittany's one of them normally.
I swear I was about to say one of them's in the comments right now.
Yeah. She is the problem child.
She is.
Absolutely. She says the page is about to get taken down. So so what, okay, so, and I'm sorry to hear about your dad's health issues, by the way.
Yeah, I appreciate that. We're working through it.
That stuff's tough. But he's definitely blessed to have you and to take care of him and help him out. And so happy to hear that, though. So other than that,
I can't say anything. I'll cry.
Yeah.
I love you, but that's it.
Yeah.
I'm emotional about that kind of stuff, y'all.
Other than that,
yeah, we're not here to talk about that.
Other than that, tell us about Only Hands. How did it get started? And it's kind of become the premier bare knuckle fan thread, sort of.
Yeah, so you didn't mention earlier, but I used to manage fighters. You know, I started Goat Combat Agency with Scott Farley, and originally we just wanted to create a group to help promote our fighters, give them kind of a forum to talk and share their content and sell tickets, sell merch, the whole biz. And then it just started growing. The fighters started talking and commenting to fans, and I think people like really enjoy being able to like talk to the fighters themselves. Actually interact with them. And there's a lot of shit talk there. I'm sure there's been plenty of fights that were matched based off that group. But yeah, we and then it kind of started growing. So we in our circle, the bare knuckle community, we're all pretty close. We call it our fight fam. So we're just helping out friends, sharing everybody's shit. And then a lot of people started enjoying it. So yeah, now we it was just bare knuckles specifically because that's the people that I know. But we kind of broadened it out and made it just like a bare knuckle, like general bare knuckle group. It could be BYB, BKB, whoever.
Absolutely. And I'm seeing a lot more of the international guys in the comments too.
Yeah.
So it's been interesting, but I think it's been a really good outlet. And I think that you're absolutely right. Like definitely there's probably been there's definitely been a few fights matched as a result of some of the only hands beef.
Yeah.
But
yeah. I think Nate's actually told that to me before. He was like, I was talking to him about a fight, and he was like, I should just go to Only Hands and find out, who's beefing, and we'll just make, something like that.
Absolutely. So how did you get into this whole bare knuckle thing? Like, what drew you into it, and tell us the story of how Vince came to be in this world.
Yeah. Okay. So, I grew up with Jason Knight's family, his brother, Josh Knight. Jason's a little bit younger than me, but we kind of grew up knowing each other. And yeah, I used to own a business. I used to own electronic repair shops, cell phone repair shops. And I sponsored him a bunch, and I sponsored some other things, and it's kind of hanging around him, doing some of his merch stuff, things like that. And I ended up becoming his manager and managing him for a little bit. And then Jason took the bare knuckle fight with Artem at BKFC 5.
Mm-hmm.
And that's actually where I was introduced to bare knuckle, was at BKFC 5. And
quite an introduction.
Yeah, right. Yeah, and Jason instantly became a rock star, and I just dove head first into bare knuckle because I just loved every second of it. And the Feldmans, they've always treated me right. I've got a wall full of VIP passes or whatever. They've always been really good about taking care of the ones that have been around for a while. But yeah, and then from there, just knowing the community, knowing people, slowly started helping other athletes build their brand, build their career, pretty much.
Sounds like a blast.
Yeah.
Oh, I know it's been fun because I've hung out with Vince at a few of these events. So
yeah,
I know that you have a good time. It's always a good time.
Yes, I always have a good time. I do. Sometimes too much of a good time.
Is there such thing? I mean,
right.
No harm, no foul, right? As long as nobody gets hurt or arrested, we're good.
Well, I'm just kidding.
But yeah, you've been around since BKFC 5. Obviously, Goat Combat Agency has been a big part of this whole bare knuckle thing from the beginning. What are some like really interesting experiences that you've had, like personally? Can you think, are there like one or two like stories or experiences that you feel comfortable sharing with us?
Well, there's never a dull moment when you have Brandon Lambert around. So we can take our pick with him. See, the time Robert Washington sucker punched him in Birmingham at the fight, I think Birmingham like completely, dismissed the idea of ever having bare knuckle again because of that, brawl.
I remember.
The one time I walk away by myself.
Yeah, I was standing about
myself.
3 or 4 feet away from them when that happened. So that was I was actually interviewing Lorenzo Hunt at the time, and and then in the middle of it,
That's right. Yeah, right in the middle of it. Yeah.
Yep.
Washington decides to sucker punch him, and then gets in Quentin's face, and it turned into a big deal.
Yeah, that was wild. And matter of fact, I wasn't interviewing them. It was Phil from Knuckle Up, and I was hanging out with the Knuckle Up guys at the time. And, and I was standing right next to Juan, and Phil was interviewing. Anyway, but that was pretty wild. That was pretty wild. And then of course Quentin was there and tried to break it up, and then ended up catching some kicks and getting hit a couple times. And he was trying to help, but I guess Robert thought that that he was trying to get him. And
dude, what's crazy is like I had brought this GoPro with like a chest harness mount or whatever, and I had been like putting it on Quentin, and I'd like swapping it between my guys that night. I put it on Quentin for a little while, and then put it on Malo for a little while. Like we just took it off of those guys and put it on someone else, so it would have like all been on the chest cam right there. That would have been great.
Yeah, that was a wild one. So I was there for that one, and I can attest that was pretty crazy. It was definitely the talk of the town for a few days. I can imagine.
I felt like an idiot. I didn't know what to do. I just stood there. Y'all know me. I mean, come on. I didn't know what to do either.
Yeah.
I just froze. Yeah. And then
there's nothing to do. Yeah.
I can't remember who it was like, move, get out of the way. Like, you're going to get hit. And I was like, oh. I froze.
Yeah, that wasn't nice.
I just stood back. I'm like, I have nothing to do with this. I'm taking a couple steps back, and I'm going to spectate and maybe get some footage. And
yeah, it wasn't a good look for us to Alabama.
No, it wasn't a great look.
No, it really wasn't.
But it is part of the journey. So, okay, so Vince, you got to tell the story about the beef with the commission and the day they were allergic to parties.
Yeah. Let's see how much I want to get into this. I'll talk about it. Let me think about it for a second. So John Lewis and I actually used to be friends, right? John Lewis, the former Mississippi Athletic Commissioner. We used to be friends. Yeah, we'd meet, we'd see each other at these, all the Mississippi events. I try to go to as many like MMA shows, boxing matches, whatever. So we'd run into him all the time. We'd have drinks, after parties, all this. We were friends, I would say. So what came about recently, I was with, and I don't want to get into this, another fighter I was with that night, getting set up for his pre-fight interviews with Lytle and Willock. And you've been in those fighter hotels in the lobbies. Everyone's hanging out. Everyone's like loud and bullshit and everything in the lobby. And I see John Lewis, and I go up and I go try to shake his hand. And I'm like, hey, what's going on, man? And he just like pulls his hand back, and he's like, get the fuck away from me! You don't shake my fucking hand. And I'm like, what the fuck's wrong with this guy? And then so I just like go on about my business, mingle around, and he says something to the effect of like, I should go outside and beat your ass or something like that. And I'm like, whoa. So the fighter that was with me is like, no, let's go, let's leave, yada yada. So that night he calls me. He has my phone number. He had sent me a message and said, Vince, you're not allowed to come to the event. You're not allowed to attend this event. And Dex, what are you doing here? Get out. Go. Sorry. You're not allowed to attend this event. And I'm like, what the fuck is going on? So he calls me on a different number. It's a number I didn't have saved in my phone. He calls me, and I can hear him and Alita, his wife, in the background, right? And they're talking, they're on the phone, but they're not responding to me. So I'm just like sitting there, I'm listening, and you know, a couple minutes goes by, and I realize they're talking about me. So I start recording what they're saying. They like left their phone. I'm assuming it's Alita's phone. I didn't have the number. And so they're like talking all type of shit. Like if he suspended my manager's license, if I would be able to come. If let's see, something about chopping me up and putting me in a ice chest or something.
Mhm.
Yeah, I shouldn't be there. You know, the balls I have to show up or some shit. I don't know. Yeah, it was nuts. So you know, he is the commissioner. This was his very last event as commissioner. So he as the commissioner, they have jurisdiction over the back of the venue. You know, the backstage fighters. You know, the production. Well, the fighters, the athletes, and doctors, and whatever. They have jurisdiction. So he could ban me from going backstage to the locker rooms to what have you. But the promotion would have to ban me, would have to say that I wasn't allowed to be at the event. And I called Nate and asked him about it directly, and he was like, yeah, he can't kick you out from the event. It's our event. So show up at the event and you know, minding my business, cheering my friends along or whatever. And
I may add real quick, Vince, you were on very good behavior that night.
I really was. Purposely.
Sorry, I get like heated about this conversation, but anyways, I just wanted to come to his defense.
Yeah. So watching my guy fight, and he comes up and is like, "You need to leave." And I'm like, "No, I don't have to leave." And he gets another athletic commission guy. I don't want to say his name, but he's part of the athletic commission. He said, "You need to tell him to leave." And he and I are friends too. And he looked at me and he's like, "What's going on?" I said, "I don't know." And he sat back down. So then he went and got Feldman, and Feldman walks over and says, "Vince, what's going on?" And I'm like, "Man, you know, this dude wants me to leave." And he's like, "Well, John wants you to leave. You need to leave." So I did, and John personally escorted me out just for the fun of it.
So did you ever figure? And I don't know if I should ask this or not. I'm not super familiar with this story. I've heard a little bit about it, but do you know what his beef? Did you ever find out what his beef was with you?
Yeah, his wife was saying that I choked her or something.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, like I choked his wife. I choked her out or some shit. I don't know. It was so absurd, so ridiculous. I didn't even try to bank it in long-term memory. Yeah. Like I choked her at an event, or I tried to choke her out, or some shit.
Did she have you confused with someone else, or is she just pulling this straight out of her ass?
No.
I know
they know exactly
who
I am. They know exactly who I am. They know exactly. I mean, I told you. I mean, we've hung out. We've partied. We see each other at events all the time.
That's a bizarre thing to make up, though.
Yeah, she's yeah, you would have to know this individual.
And I don't. So
yeah. Well, you know, lucky you.
You know, yeah, that's to me. I've had people say things about me before that are completely untrue as well. And I don't know what people's motivations are. I understood now in the most recent instance when people were threatening to say things about me that weren't true. It was sort of a blackmail type of situation. So I knew what their motivation was. But do you have any insight into why she would have done?
Well, I've thought about this, and I'm not completely sure, but so at one point she had a management. Oops, sorry, my phone's going all crazy here. She had a management company herself called Boss Babes Management, right? So Goat was coming along right around the same time as that. I don't know if like she was just like pissed off because I was competition, and her company folded. I don't know if like I turned down in advance towards her or something. She's just like one of those drunk There's like lose control, like type people. Yeah.
Okay. Now that makes more sense. If if there's business involved in some way, because the people that were making threats against me, it was a matter of fact, it had nothing to do with me, but I had partners who they had beef with at the time, and I was an easy target to them. And I won't go in for a number of reasons, but anyway, no, people are crazy, man. And people are ruthless. Like, I don't know. Like, what happened?
One other thing, I do remember one other. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, Matthew, but I just remembered. I didn't want to forget. So, wait, I already forgot. Oh yeah, he was convinced that I wanted him out of office. That I was actively trying to get him removed from office. I was told by someone that's close to them that he believes that myself and Nate Shook individually wrote very similar letters to the governor of Mississippi to ask to have him removed. Now he's convinced that I did this. And John, like, knowing the commissioner as a manager, that's working with athletes, that's a good thing. You know what I mean? I never had any reason to want him removed. He was an asset to me, which is why it's still so bizarre,
Yeah. No, man. I mean, and so this is another thing. Why is the fight game so gross like that?
It's dirty. It's dirty as fuck, man. I don't know why. I don't know why.
Though I don't understand why that. And it's like kind of like everybody just says, "Oh, that's just kind of how it is." I'm like, but why though? Why do we? Because I know there are a number of good people. Even some of the people listening to this podcast, that you guys are good people. Everybody on this show right now, we're all like decent humans, like that treat people fairly and believe in doing the right thing. Like, why can there not be more good people and less scumbags? And why do the scumbags have such a strong voice? Like, what is that? Can you give me some insight? I mean, being another insider with industry experience, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, man, I don't know. I think it's just like a dog eat dog world. I think, there are more people out there that would, step on you, as a friend. Like, there are more people in the fight world that would, use you as a stepping stone and forget about you when the opportunity arose. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you and I, and I've seen it happen before. You and I are friends. We also both have business within the community, right? Mm-hmm. So if I could shortcut you or use your assets to advance my career, that would be appeasing for me. I think that the morals and the integrity of some of the people in the fight. I think it's just the culture, man. I think it's the fight culture.
Yeah,
but there, I mean, not all of them's like that, because I mean, that's like when Vince was still a GOAT. Vince has always helped me since day one with managing. Like, anything I've ever needed, I know I can call Vince, and he has helped me without a shadow of doubt. And so not everybody is like that.
Not everyone's like that. That's right. Not everyone.
Many. I mean, that's like the night that he got taken out. I was fuming, and I texted him. I was like, "Do you want me to let you in the back door? I'll let you in the back door. I will come get you."
I guarantee that's true.
Yeah, because I just happened to be walking him when they were taking him out, and I was like, I looked at Evelyn, and I was like, "We're physically gonna let him in the back door." She's like, "Does that mean we're going to jail?" I was like, "I don't know, but let's go."
Yeah.
So, I mean, but that's the thing. Like, when you do find the good ones, and I truly believe this, when you do find the good ones, we all stick together, so hard that it overrides all the other. So in the end, it really they lose anyways.
Yeah, and I think that it sometimes it takes a little bit of time to figure out who those people are too, because it's such a small community that we've all worked with the wrong ones at one time or another, or we've worked with someone who's worked with the wrong ones, and it's true, and I know that I have, or definitely I have. But I've also worked with some really good people too. So what are we saying here, Mr. Producer? David says Britton's the only person on the show without long, luscious ginger beard on this broadcast.
I did have a nice.
We'll work on that. We'll work on that.
The show. So next time I'm not going to take care of it, and that way I can show these gentlemen up.
That's great.
Right.
That's great. That's great. And Judy, and again, this is why I want to talk to people like Judy too. It's true. Good
Mama
and bad,
Judy's
bad
great.
people.
Mama Judy's great.
And I know that you know who these people are. And Jason Williams, what's up?
Hey.
Boxer Tricks in the house.
Absolutely.
And we all work with some really good people. And there have been people that I've been hesitant to work with because of who they were associated with prior to my dealings with them, and then come to find out I was actually wrong because this person kicks ass. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. I the exact same person. I feel the exact same way.
Well, we're talking about
you
Jules.
never know, man.
We're talking about
We're
Jules.
talking about Jules. Yeah, Jules
I
grew
was talking
on
about
me.
Jules.
I used to not be a fan of Jules when she was with Paul Tyler and these guys. I wasn't a fan, but Jules grew on me. Turns out she was an awesome person, and she really took care of us at BYB.
Yes.
Britton and I.
Yes.
Yeah.
And that's another thing that kind of bothers me sometimes is I kind of wonder, like, because I've been tied up with people. I think that's the best way I can say it before. And in my mind, I'm always like, I wonder if other people associate me with what that person does and so on and so forth. Like, that bothers me. And I feel like, we have to be so careful sometimes. And I know sometimes, like, they're so good at playing the good person part. And, it's just hard. And I hate that I was even associated with people sometimes because, like I said, I feel like other people look and are, they're kind of like, she may be a little sketchy because she was working with these other people. And
it happens. You can be guilty by association. Absolutely.
Yeah. And so therefore I just, no, I'm good. I don't need anybody else to work with, y'all. I'm good.
Right.
We keep our
Hold on to
circles
the ones you
tight
got.
these days. Yes,
Yeah.
we keep our
That's right.
circles tight. But it's been an interesting ride. I'm looking forward to seeing where it goes. We touched a little bit on the BKFC, the article that came out on BKFC within the last couple of days. Did you get
the lawsuit, the Inferno lawsuit?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know? And my point of view, I don't know if and this was before you came on, but my point of view, and I think Britton agrees with me, is basically that I don't know anything about this media publication. I don't know them. I don't know about their credibility. I just am not familiar. That doesn't mean anything. And so, therefore I'm gonna wait for all the facts to come out, and not just rely on this one piece, this one article. But do you know anything about that particular publication at all?
No, I'm I really don't know much more than anyone else. I've had a bunch of people like send me like articles and like what they think or whatever, but outside of I guess what Knuckle Up got Feldman to quote, that it would dissolve, it would go away. That's all I know. I don't know. I'm being told that the Triller deal was not even official, that it was off. I don't know how true that. I don't want to start rumors. I mean, someone in the know could speak for that, but that's another rumor going around that that the Triller deal never was official and is not going to be official. Triller's pulling the deal. Is the rumor? I don't know.
Interesting. Well, again, there's always rumors, and then there's all this talk in the community, and I want to. So Howie's given us a little bit of insight. So,
What's up, Howie?
Inferno's only 2 people company, and owner lives in Canada in their company. So it's basically a brand new company. If Howie's information is correct, the company started in October 2021. So they're brand new. Good job, Howie. But what's up, Howie, by the way?
Hey,
but
Howard.
It's one of those weird things too. There's always these rumors, and I'm always open to if somebody on the with inside knowledge within BKFC wants to come on and give us a statement or just talk with us about it. I think everybody's interested, and we would be very fair. I'll
always preface mine by saying, I don't work for the company. I'm not there in the office, but things that I hear, people tell me things.
Right.
But
Well, as
people can
the
look
you
for
know
themselves.
being the guy that runs Only Hands, I'm sure that you get people reaching out with anytime something comes out, I'm sure that you
Yeah,
know
yeah,
about
yeah,
it.
definitely. Yeah.
Um,
Pretty quickly.
so, but yeah, anybody in BKFC, Mr. Feldman, Mr. Shook, anybody on the inside, if you guys want to come on, we're more than happy to be fair and listen to your side of it. And I think everybody would like to hear that. So jump on, let's go. But
Right on.
that I think it's important to be fair, and I don't think that I think that a lot of times people in the media, in the combat sports media especially, everybody just wants views. We're all trying to build our following, and
Right.
any kind of a big headline, clickbait headline it can be a big deal. And I just think there's too much of that. So I don't want to focus on it too much, but I do want to say that I'd love to hear both sides of the story. And I think most
Absolutely.
people do too. So that's where I'll.
I think transparency is important too.
Yeah.
For the fans, for the fighters.
Absolutely.
Yes.
So that's kind of our goal here is like, we want to talk to the insiders, but we want to be, sort of neutral. We want to, we want to be just sort of friends with everyone. Because I think that's way more fun, which is matter of fact, why a big reason as to why I stepped out of, to a smaller role in the world of managing fighters. I'm only working with Sam now officially, and I'll probably keep it that way. Now, if any of my fighter friends need my help, they know they can call me, and I'll do whatever I can for them. But it's tough to do media and management. I think that's a tough balance because
managing fighters period is tough.
Oh my, it's
you have to be a glutton for punishment.
Yeah, it's rough. And there's literally, I mean, there's and you do it for free. You do it because you care about people. Hopefully, maybe that's not what everybody does it, but there's not a whole lot of money to be made there. And I never got into it thinking that I was going to make money. But man, it's a lot, and it's really hard to be unbiased.
It's a lot.
It
is. Yeah. It is definitely.
So, that's like the hardest thing is like when I'm doing a show, of course, if we're talking about any of my people, my clients, of course I'm going to lean towards them. I almost have to. So anyway,
if you don't, it seems intentional.
Yeah, that's kind of where I'm at with management. It's a little much.
It's tough.
I'm not going to say too much right now, but it's a little much.
Yeah. Well, you've got one really good client though.
Well, I'm thinking it's about time to just.
Yeah, define good.
Right, because I'm telling you, like there are times to where I just have to say I'm not your wife right now, because as your wife, I would not speak to you like this. But as your manager, you're an idiot. And I mean, that's usually how I have to say it.
That's when you call me up and I'll just tell people like it is.
Exactly.
I'll be the bad guy.
That is exactly. I'll send, if I can't call Vince and Bo's sitting beside me, I'm like, shoot him a message like, you need to call him because he's being an idiot right now. And or I just wait until the next day and I call Vince and I'm like, he gets off at this time. Can you just randomly call him and ask him what's going on? That'd be great.
Yeah. I'll straighten him out. I'll lay the smack down on Bobo.
Oh yeah, without a doubt. And now I also
oh yeah, without a doubt.
And now I also have Jason. I'm always telling Jason when he's getting on my nerves, I'm like, can you work him a little bit harder for me? That'd be great.
Oh God, yes, that's awesome.
So Vince, I seen they had a question for you. They want to know who is your favorite fighter and why is it Bobo O'Bannon?
Yeah. So how many reasons should I list why I love Bobo O'Bannon?
Y'all see, his cover photo is of him and Bobo. Like,
oh, it is still. I forgot. I don't ever look at my cover photo. I forgot. It is. It's Bobo when he had the Band-Aid that said Alex on it. Yeah, I forgot about that.
Yeah.
Bobo's awesome, man. I you won't find a better person. I mean, we could beat that horse into the ground. The rumors are true. He's a good guy.
Absolutely, I can vouch for that.
He is, man. I consider him one of my best friends. I do. He's a good guy, and you call and talk to him about anything, and honestly, I think Bobo and Eric Kowal from My MMA News brought it up a few different times that he believes Bobo could actually be the face of Bare Knuckle, that he could be the guy that you think about whenever you think of Bare Knuckle. You know, because he has the skills, he has the size, but he also has the relatability, right? He's approachable. You can relate to him. He's just an all shucks, genuine guy. And I really believe it as well.
It's just because he has me. That's it.
Yeah, well, that doesn't hurt. That doesn't hurt for sure.
Absolutely.
He wants help.
So Vince, what's next for you, man? What's on your radar? Do you have any projects that you're looking at, or any future goals that you want to tell us about?
Yeah, well, I'm behind on a bunch of stuff because of my dad. But I'm going. Should be going to the BKFC Jackson event. If nothing changes, I'll.
Oh, we lost Vince.
Well, I can finish that story. He will be going to Jackson because we're all supposed to go together. So I don't know if that was the rest of the story, but I feel like it is.
Maybe so. Quentin Henry. Yeah. So David says Quentin Henry is my favorite. When he was born, the doctor said, "Congratulations, Judy. It's a legend."
I do love Quentin Henry.
He's pretty cool.
And that sounds so spot on right there. Spot on.
He's another good guy, though. I mean, there are so many good, like, really cool people, like the fighters that are. I mean, there are some. I mean, honestly, as far as the fighters go, there are very few of the fighters that I've met. I've just been like, man, I don't like that person. Like,
right.
Like really few. Most of them have been super cool.
There's only one for me.
Yeah.
Yeah, just one.
Okay.
And,
sure. I already know who it is.
I mean, if you feel like I need to name a name, I will.
You don't have to. Everyone already knows.
Yeah, so. that's what I'm saying. I don't even feel like I have to say a name because everybody knows. But the only reason it was not because he was calling out my husband. I don't care who calls out my husband. Go ahead. Like make it interesting. I don't care.
I called him out here a while back.
Right. That's what I'm saying. Y'all
to a thumb wrestling match.
Well, you may win. You may win.
No, he will. I've seen the size of that man's hands. Are you kidding?
No, that is true. But this guy went on the Only Hands page and decided that he was going to start saying that Bobo's wife was attacking him. I had never even said anything to the guy. And I was like, so I had to go comment, and I'm like, I think you have me confused with someone else. I mean, that's hard to kind of confuse Bobo's wife. It's hard to confuse me with, but I say that I've been confused with Brittany Carino a couple of times. But I was like, no, you have me confused. And he's like, no, you said, I'm like, can you show me where I said anything like this? And he's like, no, because I know you said it. And I'm like, okay.
Interesting.
I mean,
yeah. There's a couple that have rubbed me the wrong way a couple times, but whatever. It's business too. So, but Judy said that Quentin's got some kind of a big media thing coming up.
What?
Wait, he's got a big. There it is. Big media thing coming up from his training in Colorado, and he's going to be back tomorrow night. So that's great. So as soon as that comes out, definitely, if I don't catch it, like make sure that we there's one that trolls me. Okay. But yeah, make sure that it's shareable so we can share that out and give and try to help build some views on that and get him as much exposure as possible. But yeah, I had one guy that was trolling me for a while. But haven't heard from him in a while, so no big deal. It's over.
Mama Judy, I'm almost positive I know who you're talking about, because I've seen him comment to you a few times, and he tried trolling Bo for once or twice, and it did not work out in his favor. But I'm sure y'all are all fans of The Cure or whatever he calls himself.
Oh, Richard?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. That guy.
I wasn't going to name drop him, but that's not the one I was talking about either. But that guy.
Listen, he's the most ridiculous person in this entire community. I'm sorry, but like, please stop giving this guy fights. He is nothing more than a okay. I don't want to talk too bad about him. I say I'm impartial, but that guy just drives me up the wall. There's
Yes.
no way he should have ever gotten a fight to begin with. And I mean, I think that he was like 1-8 in amateur MMA and has lost every professional fight that he's ever had. And the guy like posts picture training videos of himself like punching pizza boxes in the alley and stuff. Like, who is this person and why are they involved in this sport that I love? Like, stop it right now.
And
Anyway.
and I love that you say that you're, impartial because we usually are. Like we always are, just like with the
Yeah,
lawsuit
but that's
thing.
ridiculous.
We want to know, the truth, and we like to give everybody the benefit of the doubt. But
I've
dude,
interacted with this guy enough that I'm allowed to have an
yes,
opinion, and this guy's a moron.
exactly.
And he's a moron, and he's not a fighter. He doesn't train. He's ridiculous, and we just need to stop giving this guy attention and let him go and like just listen, go do something else, man. Stop encouraging this guy. It's not even right to do it.
No, like I mean, before he started making rude comments, not toward me, I've never, well, whatever. But before he started making rude, I felt sorry for him, like because I'm like, it's okay, you can go fight, yeah, buddy.
No.
And now I'm like, no, you're
He
not.
needs to stop immediately. Who is this guy? And where did he come from? How did he ever get a fight?
That's it blows my mind.
Yeah. So we're talking about the guy that fought. I think he fought Terry Janowski in his debut fight. It was both their debut, and he quit after like a jab that didn't even like land. Like it didn't even. I didn't even know that it made contact, and the guy he was like, oh, knocked out or whatever.
Yeah.
Anyway, but hey. I don't want to give him any more time on this show, and we need to wrap it up.
We do.
But what? The wind would knock him out, Judy, and that is one person that he's just so ridiculous and whatever. Been tuning in and out. We're not talking about Brandon Lambert. We're talking about Richard Karsten, is his name, and he's the biggest clown in this sport. And he just needs to go away.
That other guy, man, he is right there in the running with them, and I'm sorry, Lord forgive me, but he's right there by them. They're getting neck and neck. Maybe that fight should happen. Maybe I should suggest. Maybe I should go put
Richard Karsten versus who's the other guy?
Kyle McHarrell.
I just didn't remember his name. Kyle. Yeah.
Maybe I should go.
McElroy.
Yes. Maybe I should go put that on Only Hands so Nate can get that set up. That'd be great.
Oh man, yeah, that would be a funny one. But hey, what's up, Dickmond? Does anybody know Dickmond Dickelheimer's true identity?
No.
Okay. Maybe that is his. Maybe that's his given name. It's possible.
It's a nice name. Maybe.
It's a great name. It's a great name. Well, final thoughts, Britton.
I'm done.
All right. Well, thank you guys for tuning in. It looks like we may have Jamie Driver on next week. So tune in for that. We'll finalize that hopefully. Dave Morgan versus Brandon Lambert. No.
We're not doing this right now. No.
We're not touching it.
I do have two small little plugs to put in here.
Yes, do it.
Because I feel like this needs to be said. Our phones have went insane about Bo fighting on this Jackson card. Bo is not fighting on the Jackson card, unfortunately. We will be there, and there's bigger news to come. Just stay tuned. That's all big news to come. That's all I can say. And Brittany, I don't think I'm allowed to tell everybody to go vote for you on the show. Sorry.
Well, you can tell them to go vote. So
Okay.
Definitely do that.
Okay, go vote. Please go vote. And if you need somebody, there's people in the comments that are in the running for things.
Absolutely, they are. So go check them out. Go to the Fight Mixer website, and our producer will post that down below. But go check it out. You can vote for all kinds of things. It's the Fight Mixer pound for pound rankings. Also, guys, don't forget to tune in to our other Fight Mixer podcasts as well. The next one being this Wednesday at, I believe, 8 p.m. with Janine LaRusso and for Skulls and Stilettos. So that's always entertaining. You guys need to check them out. Also, check out Fight Mixer tonight and Strange Pie. Thank you to our sponsors. Thank you to Britton. Thank you to Vince for coming on. Thank you guys for tuning in. And we will see you on the next episode of Bare Knuckle Insiders.
Bye.
Having a hard time going back to the gym after working out at home? Well, now you don't have to with the X-Bar. The X-Bar from X-Bar Fitness is an incredible gym alternative that gives you the same intense workout you get at a full gym with hundreds of machines. One X-Bar alone provides the same workout as a cable machine, bench press, dumbbell set, free weights, leg press, barbell set, and all these other machines. Stop wasting time debating whether or not you should go to the gym. Order the X-Bar to get a quality workout in the comfort of your own home.